You are about to listen to a brief sample clip of the new audiobook, Star Trek Galaxy. Based on Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry. Written by S. Robert Cook. With contributions by M.K. Gilmore. Narration by Laurel Joy.
Approaching the asteroid, sir, the helmsman reported. Input the coordinates and prepare to come about and move in at Warp 1 on Commander Colfax's order, Isaacs directed. Not yet, Colfax said, studying his readouts intently. Wait for the next cycle. Now! The ensign expertly swung the ship in a 180-degree turn and instantly went to warp. It seemed like a second later, the streaks of stars reassembled into a normal-looking sky as they appeared in the middle of a desperate battle. Fire! Isaacs boomed, and Johnson fired a full spread of quantum torpedoes in a scattered direction. The Galaxy's first punch only succeeded in making the enemy shields flicker in protest. Unexpectedly, the lead attacker in the insidious ship's formation suddenly came about, and no one on the Galaxy's bridge knew exactly what happened next. Johnson was thrown from his console into the bulkhead behind him as an enormous explosion ripped the starboard bulkhead wall and the science station from their previous location and sent them hurtling to the interior of the bridge. It was impossible to see through the smoke and fire, even as the emergency fire control and environmental systems fought to contain the breach. With ringing, deaf ears, Johnson clawed his way back to his station as if climbing a ladder. He was thrown the rest of the distance as the ship erupted in another roar, so loud that it was painful even to his shocked, stunned ears. "Sir!" he reported as he pulled himself up. He couldn't see Colfax or Isaacs. His station, still responsive, showed him a brief replay of exactly what had happened to their ship along with a readout of the resulting damage. The Galaxy now sported a 20-meter-wide hole from its underbelly straight through the USS label atop the saucer. "They hit us with what looks to be a blast of concentrated photonic energy that went straight through our saucer. It's like our shields weren't even there." He could barely hear his own voice over the ringing in his ears. He coughed through the smoke from a fire that was blasted with an automatic fire suppression burst from somewhere behind him. He continued to clutch the station and finally caught sight of Isaacs and Colfax both gathering themselves from the floor. The helmsman clambered back into his seat, and the ops officer had never left, but was holding his head in pain. The science station was a heap of wreckage to his right, but the rest of the bridge seemed untouched. "Come about! Fire full spread of aft torpedoes straight into the lead ship's shield grid. Wait for my order!" Colfax commanded and then coughed violently. He gripped the side of his chair, squinting at the readouts. "Coming about, sir," the helmsman reported. "Weapons ready, sir," Johnson said simultaneously. Wait! Fire! Firing! The chief tactical officer responded as he unleashed the peacekeeping ship's complement of aft torpedoes directly into the coordinates Colfax had sent to his console. A satisfying, dying flicker on their view screen confirmed that the lead ship was now in serious danger. "Their shields are at 4%, sir," Johnson reported. "Ship number 2 is coming about and preparing to fire a second primary photonic weapon. Engineering! Engine status!" "All engines operational, sir," Ava's voice declared. "I need short warp between those two vessels. Same maneuver as before," Isaacs ordered, knowing that they couldn't be targeted for the next few moments if they had just dropped out of warp. "Johnson, prepare to fire another full spread at the second ship's shield grid." "Their weapon is 98% charged, sir," Johnson reported. "Warp between them, ensign," Colfax ordered. "Engage!" The ship violently lurched with the acceleration and then rapid deceleration. Before they could even steady the Galaxy, Colfax gave the order. "Fire!" Johnson fired, but their lack of stability caused half of the spread to miss the target. The helmsman veered sharply to port to avoid an incoming photonic blast from the third ship and never got the chance to go to warp. The second ship launched their ship-killing pulse directly into the engineering section, just aft of the deflector dish. It pierced their shields and knocked the Galaxy directly into one of the Kintar ships, which was unfortunately positioned in their path. Alarms blared, but the bridge crew were largely untouched, except for losing their footing. Johnson dove back to his station and saw the replay of the damage, along with the resulting devastation. His stomach fell into a pit. and his chest constricted to the point where he questioned if he would be able to speak. His face contorted into a mixture of disbelief and panic as he managed to report. "Direct hit to engineering, primary warp core breach in progress.